So the purpose of the Google Merchandise Store is obviously to sell products to Google, like just the general public for Google and its subsidiary companies. The main audience that was attracted was men in the 25 to 34 years old group. The age group sits at 42.92% of the total 144 people who entered the checkout. So the group enters the checkout almost the most, but two of the 3,755 sessions ended with a transaction, and men gravitate toward the site much more than women. In fact, the bounce rate for women is like just about always 10% higher, at least. And as far as the audience, like drilling down on that, 25 to 34-year-olds are 46.41% of the main base of your audience, and 35 to 44 is 22.29% of the audience, and 18 to 24 makes up 20.86 of the audience. And so those are obviously, like, in order, the top three groups. All right, so 92.8% of the revenue came from men rather than women. And so there's, considering the like amount of men to women that are still like flowing through the site, that's a little rough. But 25 to 34-year-olds generate 21.61% of the revenue, and that's the biggest group, which seems a bit odd, but the group which generated the most revenue was actually the 45 to 54 age group, generating just about 63% of the revenue. And when I drilled into that more, because I found it strange, they actually only had like one purchase, like that generated the majority of that, which was just over $200. But the 25 to 34-year-old group among females has a 43.8% bounce rate, which is not good for a merchandise store, and I think there's a couple ways to fix that. Another big thing that stood out to me was that the 25 to 34% age group, sorry, not percent, but age group had a really high exit rating on the payment and store policy pages. And considering that they're the ones who get to check out the most, that seems like an issue. And one of the things I suggested to fix that entire statistic was that you guys could review the page code and potentially just overhaul the entire page and create a new form and look for the page. And possibly the same with the store policies page, if not possibly amending some of the store policies